Here's the next question asked the buyer owner. It's about timing. And they're interested in potentially interviewing real estate agents. So here we go. Mr. Seller, if for some reason you don't sell the house in the next, let's say, 3 to 4 months, will you be interviewing real estate agents or just decide to stay in the home and perhaps refinance? All right, that question is full of information. And let's just unpack this question for a minute so you understand and appreciate why you're doing it. Now, I said if for some reason you don't sell in the next 3 to 4 months, when you ask that first part, sometimes the seller will say, well, we can't wait that long. If for some reason you don't sell in the next 3 to 4 months, we have to sell now. We're relocating. We have a deadline, because this question is addressing sense of urgency and the resolve to stay the course. By the way, these questions are all designed for you, the loan officer, to tell me, the realtor. This is an incredible thing. You are screening these buyer owners for me and giving me a tremendous amount of information about their situation when they were unguarded in speaking with you. Hoping to get the loan, and I'm hoping to get the listing and the buyer. So if for some reason you don't sell in the next 3 to 4 months, will you be interviewing agents? Don't ask the question, will you be listing with an agent? That's too presumptuous. All we want to know, would they be interested in interviewing agents? Sometimes like this, interviewing agents, we've already hit a couple agents out. My sister's a realtor, etc. We want to figure out what the situation is and the receptivity to interviewing agents. We don't refer them an agent, we just want to be, will they interview an agent? Even in the future, when you're talking to any client, may I refer you an agent? You know, of course we want to be referred, but all I want is the opportunity to be interviewed. That's all I'm asking for, is the opportunity to be interviewed, all right, in our industry. All right, so the last part of this question is, or if you don't sell in the next 3 to 4 months, maybe you'll just decide to stay and perhaps consider refinancing, because that's what you're looking for. Get the refi, get the buyer who comes in there, who purchases the buyer owner's house, and get them approved and do the loan for that. Or you want to do the loan when the people move to the next property. So it's important early on that we ask the question, if you do decide to stay, would you perhaps consider refinancing and maybe saving $300 to $400 a month if it's possible? That's why the buyer owner and the expired listings, especially the expireds, if you guys decide to stay in this property and not come back on the market, which is a different script, we'll get into that later, but if you decide to stay in the property because you tried selling it, took a half a year and it didn't sell, would you consider refinancing? All right, so this question, if for some reason you don't sell in the next 3 to 4 months, would you be interviewing agents or perhaps just decide to stay and maybe refinance? This is chock full of information for both you, but as well as the realtor. And again, this addresses motivation to sell and the receptivity to an agent. I'm going to go on with this question here. As a side note, Mrs. Potential Client, as a lender, having worked with several people selling by owner, I'm always curious. Are you selling because of a bad past experience with the realtor or with agents? Or have you done this kind of thing before? Well, Bob, lender, we've sold our house by owner several times, whatever the case, so we're pretty comfortable with this process. But what happens sometimes here is they're about to tell you their situation. And that is, as a side note, I'm always curious, are you selling because of a bad past experience with agents, or have you done this kind of thing before? And it's almost, they're going to tell you the necessity. No, we're doing this because we need to save the fee, the brokerage fee. Now they're trying to save all the brokerage fee, the buy side and the listing side, and the odds are like 90-something%. They're not going to save the listing side. Sorry, the buy side, because we realtors don't find the buyers. It's almost always co-brokered. So it's got 85-90% chance that they are not going to sell this thing at all without hiring a realtor. And if they do, that there'll be a buyer's agent involved and they're going to pay the commission. So they're not always trying to save the full fee. They're actually trying to save half the fee, the listing side. And since a tremendous amount of these people selling by owner fail to sell by owner, they eventually find the fee can be afforded. They don't want to do it. They say they don't have the money for it. But in truth, most of them list anyway, so the money was there. The objection was just to slow everybody down. So are you selling because of a bad past experience? The seller will say, no, it's not necessarily it was a bad past experience. We just need to save the money. We owe more on the house. The house is upside down. This question we're asking here just gets so much information out of the seller. All right, before we move on, I just want to say this. I'm really excited about everybody who's in this program, that you don't skip these questions and you don't prejudge these questions. You don't try to change the script a lot. You can ad-lib the script, that kind of a thing, but I would not remove these questions. They're done in a specific order where we're trying to get the seller to elicit more and more information. The seller that's going to become a buyer. All right, let's keep going. Thanks for watching.